Hello, my dear enthusiasts of astrology. Today we are going to talk about the month of July and what astrological events are going to affect us this July 2023. Okay, let's get started. First and foremost, I have great news for you is that the first 2 weeks, the first half of July basically, is a great time to do business, to develop your projects, to promote yourself, to promote your business. It's like the time that you can literally not miss, and that is why I am in such a hurry to share this news with you. Please, if you have any plans of expansion, please go for it. Don't waste your time. Don't sit quietly on your sofa waiting for better circumstances. Just do it now. Because the two planets that are responsible for our social accomplishments, let's say, they are going to be in a very good aspect between themselves, the aspects of opportunities. Very good that there is a better one, but that's a good one. That's an aspect of opportunity, but it is an opportunity that you need to be able to see, and you need to go for it. It will require effort on your part, but it is possible. And moreover, that Venus and Mars are two planets that are responsible for the relationship, but also for making money. Okay, they are also kind of dancing together right now. So it's a great chance to do something, to gain money, to expand your business, your activities through active actions. By putting your effort, they are going to bring you fruit. Okay, they're going to bring your business, your whatever it is that you're doing, to fruition. So the first 2 months of July, don't sit on your seat. Just go for it. Okay, now astrologically, what events are going to be there that are of interest this month? First of all, it's the 3rd of July that we are going to have a full moon in the sign of Capricorn in the 12th degree, for those who are interested. It is not about, in general, I have to say that full moon or new moon, full moon even more than new moon, is the time that is very intense emotionally. Okay, so one way or the other, it is quite a turbulent, energetically turbulent time. So it is never so easy peasy and relaxed. But I have to say that this full moon is not so, it's not so bad, it's not so terrible, meaning that it has nice aspects of that very same planet, Jupiter, that is responsible for the social realization in the society, the opportunities, developing your business and things like this. The promoting yourself, the authority, if you need to give the commercial or make an ad or something like this, this is a good time. If you need to promote yourself by sending your resume or things like this, it is also a good time. So don't miss it. However, I have to say that in general it is quite turbulent in an emotional meaning time as any full moon, and you have to be also careful in public places, especially, and not just public places, but public places where usually a lot of people are gathered. Okay. Because also this full moon is going to be in a 10th aspect, which is square to Pluto, and Pluto is something that means a lot of things, and amongst them is such a thing as a crowd, as like pressure, power, control, so if you feel tempted to start some kind of fight or whatever with your boss, with somebody of power who can make pressure on you, with some person that is has a lot of money or things like this, this full moon, don't do it, okay? Because it is going to not going to it's going to consume you, first of all, and secondly, the positive outcome is not guaranteed. It's more like the opposite is going to happen. So be aware that you are a little bit pumped or wired or whatever, depending how you look at the situation at this time, and it's better to take a back seat. Full moon is the time of fruition. So I mean, whatever efforts you put into your projects, the development of your business around this full moon, you are going to get positive results for this, like at least 3 days before, 3 days after. So that's a good time for that. Yeah, that's about it about the full moon. And we are moving next. What is next of the interest is very important thing that is going to happen on the 8th of July. The nodes are changing the sign. What does it mean? The lunar nodes, the southern and the northern one, they are not planets or anything. They are not have no physical bodies, but they are two points, let's say, that are mathematically calculated, that are also moving. Okay, they are connected with the moon, and astrologically, in astrological symbolism, they are connected with karma. So, well, in other things, they signify what events are going to happen to you that you cannot control, let's say, that are out of control. They are going to happen to you no matter what. So they are moving, they are changing a sign from they're always like on the axis. Okay, so they're not changing one sign, they're changing like two sides, they're changing the axis. So they are moving from Taurus, Scorpio, to congratulations, especially to the poor Scorpios. I will tell you why. I will make a whole separate video on the nodes and them ingressing into the new axis, into the new signs. So they are ingressing on the 8th of July into the axis Aries and Libra. And now Aries and Libras are going to have the events that are out of their control. Aries might have something positive out of it, let's say, and Libras might get into the situations where they will have to, or will be compelled to, or independently from their desire, will be able to, let's say, rid themselves of the things that don't serve them anymore, whether they are ready or not for some things. But be aware, dear Libras, that if these nodes are taking something away from you, then it is something that you don't need in your life anymore, and take it as a cleansing, as a purification, let's say. And as for Aries, we are going to have, me too. We are going to have a northern node, and we are also going to have a lot of events that are out of our control, that are sent to us from above, but maybe they are going to be more, I wouldn't say positive, they will just give us more things happening to us and more of an opportunities, rather than the process of the opportunities of getting things, rather than the opportunities of ridding ourselves of things. Okay, so that is happening on the 8th, and as I said, I'm going to make a separate video about this event. Now, what else is of an interest is the 11th of July is the time where when Mars changes its sign. Mars so far has been in the sign of Leo, together having this dance with Venus. I think that a lot of people could feel its impact, having a lot of people, I think, have met someone, have had the chance to get involved in some romantic relationship, even though, unfortunately, maybe, probably, this romantic relationship might not be especially serious, because Lilith, which is a black moon, is like a demon of seduction, was around, and it was too close to this Martian Venusian dance, and probably gave it a taste of somewhat don't want to say the one night stand, but something that is less serious than a lot of people are looking for. But some people are looking for something less serious, so probably that's exactly the fun that they had. They enjoyed a lot. I guess so. So anyway, Mars is changing the sign now, and moving from Leo to Virgo, and this, it starts to separate from Venus and Lilith, which is great because Mars and Lilith is not the best combination. It's about meeting or whatever, and I'm not talking about only in romantical sense, but meeting people, males, let's say, yeah, because Mars is about male that are aggressive, seductive, that are up to no good, basically. So it's better that they are separating from Lilith. So Mars moving into Virgo, we are going to, like, first of all, Virgos are going to feel it. They are going to start feeling more energetic, more maybe short-tempered a little bit, because Mars is also about that, maybe more prone to getting into conflicts, at the same time more prone to starting things, doing things, giving this initial push, you know. We are going like, and Mars for the rest of us who have nothing to do with Virgos, we are just going to feel maybe a little bit more energy, but not the wild one, and trying to do whatever to attract attention. Like, for example, Mars in Leo is very demonstrative, very center stage, very attention seeking, let's say, doing things to seek attention. But in Virgo, it is much more quiet, much more systematic, I would say, methodical in the things we are doing. Okay, it's not the strongest sign for them of Mars, but maybe it is better to take a break a little bit after the active Mars in Leo, which is a good position, very, very natural position for this planet, to take a break a little bit, to be more methodical, to be more on top of the things, to be more prone to doing follow-up of whatever you do, do things step by step. So that's great. And also we have to take advantage to enjoy this Mars before it ingresses into the next sign, which is Libra. And it's not gonna happen this month, okay, but I will tell you when it happens. But my point is that the next sign that Mars is going to pass is the sign of weakness of Mars. So let us enjoy and do the things, and like roll up our sleeves and get to work. This Mars is good for it. Like, just do, like, you have a plan, you have a goal, purpose, and you just do every day. You do something on a regular basis, and you are slowly, step by step, moving to your purpose, so to your goal. So this Mars is really good for that. And that starts on the 11th, like I said, of July. What else is very important? On the 17th, we are going to have a new moon in Cancer. Cancer is a very emotional sign, and new moon, like I explained earlier, is the time of extreme, well, not extreme, but just elevated emotional turbulence. So that gives us kind of a mixture that is going to create an extremely high emotional background. I mean, highly emotional background. That's what I was trying to say. Especially people who are the representatives of the Cancer, of the sign of Cancer, and other water signs like Pisces and Scorpio. You guys are going to be prone to this emotional fluctuations more than others, but others and everyone else, just keep in mind, be mindful of the fact that the people around you are a little bit like showing emotions. Maybe they're more than usual, they are more short-tempered than usual, they are more vulnerable emotionally than usual. So just be mindful of that fact and try not to get yourself involved into any conflicts. Don't start talking about the relationship, don't start talking about any potentially conflict subjects. Try to avoid those, just at least for these days, like 3 days before, 3 days after, and the day I will remind you is 17th of July. However, that said, what is this new moon good for? For starting some kind of projects, especially the creative projects. Everyone who has anything to do with art, like in creativity, that is your time, guys. Especially if you have anything to do with I don't know, movies, with painting, with music. This is your time. It's a very good time to start. Don't start on the 17th exactly. If you have a chance to choose the date, I would start a little bit later, a couple of days later, but it's a very good time to start something creative. And people who are already doing something creative, you will have a chance to feel the kiss of the muse on your forehead or cheek or lips, whatever, it doesn't matter. You will feel more inspired than usual, let's say. Yeah, that's not it. What else? So, and one more thing that is extremely important is the end of the month. At the end of the month, starting more or less 25th and up to the end of July, there will be a very harmonious aspect between Mars and Jupiter. What does it mean? It means that people are going to be more generous. We are going to be meeting people that are more generous, people that want to take care of us, and not only by saying something but also by doing something, like making actions that are more grand, making actions to help and support others. We are going to meet people like this, but also we are going to feel like that, like these people. We are going to feel more generous, and other people probably will be more generous to us. And like I said, not just on the words, they will want to do actions to impress us. And also what you need to take care, like you need to be mindful of, is that maybe you can go too far, even a little bit. So don't go, even though the aspect is harmonious. Try not to overspend, try not to overestimate, let's say, the importance of your image, your persona for other people. Don't do things, in other words, don't do things to impress others that are overboard, okay? So don't, for example, don't throw money to impress someone on the wind, let's say, out of the window, like, oh, I have to buy this thing because I have to be seen as a person or a persona of a certain social status. Don't do that. But it is a great aspect to do also something to promote yourself, to I don't know, on the social media, if you are looking for a job, like to make those steps to show that you are good for something, is a very, very good good aspect. Also, if you are looking for some educational opportunities, if you are looking to expand somehow your knowledge, your culture, your cultural knowledge, your in general perception of the world, traveling, that's a very good aspect for that. So yes, yeah, one very important thing. Again, I cannot recommend you enough to do something during the first 2 weeks of July, to expand your projects, your business, your self-realization projects, even your educational program or whatever, go for it. Whatever it is that you want to do it, okay? Because on the one hand, Jupiter is going to give us the opportunity, like a promise, and he's in coalition this time with the Saturn, which is going to write it on write it in stone, let's say, yeah, that is going to cement these opportunities, whatever we do, but we have to do it, okay? This is not an aspect of things falling on your lap. It is not. You have to do things, but the universe, if you start doing things, is going to be on your side. It is much better to fix something that you had already previously been working on, then throw it away. If you feel compelled at some point in time that to say, to hell with everything, I don't want to work on this project anymore, that's it, I'm done, I'm starting everything from the scratch. Think again. Most probably there are some unconventional ways of fixing the current project without throwing it out, and it is going to give you very positive results. And if you start something from the scratch, it is much less probable that you're going to be successful. Keep that in mind. That's important in my view. Okay, now that I have told you in general what is going to happen during the month of July, let us go sign by sign and see how these changes that I described are going to be reflected on every sign. Okay, so we are going to start with Aries. Hold on. Okay, no, wait, Aries, wait, not yet. There is one more very important thing that I forgot to mention. About that, I have the whole another separate video about it's called Venus in Leo, I guess, but okay, something like this, Venus in Leo, and if you need more detail, go there. But what is important happening, like it's a long transit up to beginning of October, but for now, for the July, what is important about Venus this month, that Venus is going retrograde on the 22nd of July. What does it mean? It means that starting the 22nd of July and up till the end of the month and further, but we are not talking about that just yet, it is highly not recommended to do any cosmetic surgeries, any sort of intrusive, let's say, operations. Try not to change your hair, makeup, like be careful with your skin, whatever beauty industry, aesthetic changes you are going to make, please try not to do it. If you need to do something like a new haircut, clothes, whatever, photo shoot, try to do it until the 22nd, okay? Because after that, there will be a long period of Venus retrograde, a couple of months up until the beginning of September, like basically until the end of the summer, that you will not, like it's not recommended to do it. Why not? Because when Venus goes retrograde, our judgment is becoming a little bit, let's say, we are inclined to challenge the things in our mind, meaning we need to give like a re-estimate, is there such a word, I guess, like to give a new esteem to things. We start doubting this person, that is like our relationships, our self-value, is it adequate? Our relationships in terms of this partner that is with me, this relationship, what does it bring to the table? What does it bring to my life? Is it a good thing that I have this relationship, or maybe this partner is not all that great that as I thought about him or her, doesn't matter. Like what kind of good does it bring me to be in this relationship? What about me, my self-value, my self-worth? Am I, like, for example, even the job, job-wise. For example, you take money for the services. Yeah, you work with you have some kind of client-oriented business. You are starting to think, maybe I'm not taking enough money for my services. Maybe I don't charge enough. I should elevate, raise my rates, even in that regard. So what is not recommended starting 22nd, I'm reminding, of July, what is not recommended to do is do not, if you are in a currently in a long-term relationship or in a serious relationship whatsoever, try to avoid challenging your relationship by discussing it, okay? Like meaning discussing the problems, because it can take you to very unpredictable places, and if you decide to break up, you might regret it later when the retrograde Venus is over, period is over, and it's back into its direct movement. Okay, so trying, unless it is the relationship that you are into and you have been trying to break up with a person for a long time and you don't know how to do it, that is a good time to do it, because at this point we are kind of I don't want to say underestimating, but yeah, give less value to the partner, just due to the fact that in our mind is full of doubts. Is it worth it? Not worth it? Is it good? Is it bad? What does it bring to me? What good does it do for me? Okay, weddings. I know that the summer is a great period for the weddings, but unfortunately, it's not great to have a wedding on the Venus retrograde. And when I say have wedding, I'm talking about signing the papers, because party is a party, but for astrology, what is important is the official date of initiation, which is the signing of the papers. So the date and time that you sign the papers would be the astrological basis for the investigation, or for checking how your marriage, let's say, would work. That's basically a birthday of your marriage, the time and date and place where you sign the papers, no matter how crazy or insignificant it might sound to someone. So parties, okay, signing papers, better to avoid it. What else can it is very probable that during this period a lot of your exes are going to resurface. And when I say exes, I mean ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends. They're going to resurface, wanting something from you. Maybe some will want to reconciliate, but others most probably will just want to talk, to remind you about their existence, and maybe some people are going to be able to resolve some issues from the past. Okay, maybe you will be able to work out some negative emotional baggage that you've been carrying in regard to that person. And maybe you will just say, oh my God, this was just a misunderstanding, okay, and be able to smile at the positive moments that you had together in the past and just let it go. So again, I cannot partnerships, not only when I'm talking partnership, it's not only romantic partnerships. If you are planning to start officially some joint venture or whatever, business partnership, it is not recommended either. Okay, it is considered in astrology that the partnerships that were initiated during the retrograde period of Venus are going to be reconsidered after the Venus goes direct, and this is going to happen in the beginning of September. I don't remember the date now exactly, 7th, 6th, 5th, something like this. So guys, be attentive, be mindful of that, and try to finish, to complete all of your Venusian tasks, such as aesthetics, beauty, I don't know, relationship, whatnot, something that is important before the 22nd of July. Okay, and now we can talk about Aries. Aries, sorry to have kept you waiting. I know that you guys are impatient to hear the prognosis for you, but here we are. Let's get started. Aries. For the Aries, this full moon that the month is starting with on the 3rd of July is going to be quite difficult. Having said that, doesn't mean that you can't reap some rewards for the previously invested efforts. You will be able to do that. However, it might be a little bit more emotional for you, a little bit more emotional roller coaster, and also to reap the fruits of your own labor also might be a little bit require some additional efforts. But nonetheless, this full moon doesn't look bad for you guys. What is very important for the Aries? The Mars is changing its sign on the 11th of July. So while it's still in Leo until the 11th of July, it's making a positive aspect for your sons, guys. I mean for your sons, for the sun, S-U-N, not your child. It makes and your sun is your vitality, is your ego, is your something that you put out to the society for everyone to see. Sometimes it is connected to the career too, because this is our social accomplishment, let's say. This is how we present ourselves to other people. This is also our self-presentation. So Mars in Leo has been making a positive aspect for all of that. So you probably felt more energetic, more prone to demonstrate yourself, to be visible, you had increased visibility in general. However, when the Mars changes the sign for you, you might feel a little bit, let's say, less of the energy to do things, but like everyone, to be more prone to become more methodical. It is not a bad transit for you. It's just a change from a wow effect to something very mundane, let's say. Until the 15th, what else? Until the 15th of July, we still have the situation that the Mars, Venus, Lilith, Black Moon, the demon of seduction situation. So for Aries, it can give quite positive results, but still, having said that, it does mean that you shouldn't be mindful of the people who are scammers, who don't have like decent intentions towards you. You have to be very careful with that, just like all of us, because right now it's like an elevated, like check your I don't know, your cards, change your passwords, like be mindful of things. If you have I'm not saying that you should be psychotic about it, no, but if you know that somewhere you have a weak password and you've been thinking for a long time, I gotta do it, I have to change it, do it, okay? Because now is the time that the scamming activities is super active, okay? Activities are active, stupid, okay? Anyway, they are very, let's say, I don't know what to say. They are all over the place anyway. So be mindful of that. On the 17th, we are going to have a new moon. Hold on one second. So we are going to have a new moon that is also going to be in a difficult, intense aspect, like tense and intense aspect to you guys. So it is going to be super emotional, but you guys are also emotional, but you're emotional in a different way. Your emotions are outward, let's say. You are happy to laugh, to I don't know, to travel, to learn new things, to meet new people, to be active, and that sort of emotions, okay? The watery emotions, because this is going to take place in the sign of Cancer, is more inward emotions, more reflective, more reflection, more, because also Cancer is ruled by the moon, and moon is kind of a planet of childhood. Also, it's like, oh, you have to take care of me, oh, you didn't do this, you remember that time that you didn't do this to me. Like, okay, Aries don't care, you guys just search forward, and okay, some time passed in the past, you didn't do something for me, but last thing I want to do is talking about it right now. That's the kind of people usually Aries are, okay? And this new moon is going to be all about the other kind of emotions that so be mindful of that. Be more patient with people around you, and don't become a victim of this kind of elevated emotional background that can drag you into being short-tempered, into jumping to I don't know, to responses that you normally wouldn't. Be kind, try to be kinder, because Aries, you guys are ruled by Mars. Mars is a god of war, so when people are trying to to push all the wrong buttons, to rub you the wrong way, you can resort to the Martian methods very fast. Don't do it. Just keep in mind that people are a little bit not themselves this couple of days. 17th of July, let's say at least 3 days before, 3 days after. And of course, the 20th, you have a very important day, the 20th of July. Why? Because it is not going to be super important for all of the areas, but it is going to be very important for the areas that were born on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of April. Okay? These lucky guys, be mindful that right now the planet of transformation, it's a planet with a very heavy impact and heavy energy, is making a tense aspect to your suns. So what does it mean? It's about transforming, changing your life, like for before and after, that drastic change. Like you can, to a point that you have to look back. When it's over, you will look back and think, oh my God, how did I survive? And look where I am now, and look what my life has been back then and what my life is right now, completely different. So because the aspect is difficult, let's say, it will make pressure on you. It might make you change things that probably you are not ready to change. But at the end, if you look at it positively, it can bring you the fruits that you otherwise wouldn't have ever be able to reap. If, for example, you would be thinking, let's say, hypothetically, if not for that pressure, if not for this very difficult pressing circumstances and issues that I had to solve back then, if not for the need to climb out of this hole that I had to climb out of, I wouldn't have found myself right now in this place where I am right now. So difficult. Try to be strong. Try to be focused. Okay, guys, because also there is a node, like a northern node, which brings you help, let's say, is coming to the very same spot, just to support you. Okay, with all of the heavy transformations that you will probably be undergoing, with all of the balls that you will have to bounce back, the northern node is going to come to the same spot and support you and help you and give you more resources, more opportunities to get out of the difficult situations that you might find yourself in. Again, everything that I've said is for the areas that were born on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of April. Be strong, guys. Now, 22nd of July is, like I mentioned before, it's Venus goes retrograde, and if you missed the first part, go back to the first part, to the general part, and listen again. Try to finish all of your Venusian things, photo sessions, like procedures with skincare or hair, makeup, or whatever. No, makeup is a daily thing, but I mean like something more permanent, aesthetical. Or really try to finish it until the 22nd. And the relationship wise, try to keep it down after 22nd. Okay, after 22nd until beginning of September, try to not rock the boat because when this period is over, you will see things differently. Okay, and even if sometimes you think somehow after 22nd it started to seem to you that your relationship is terrible, don't jump to conclusions, don't rush to breaking up, wait until let's say mid-September, and maybe you will see things in a different light later. Anyway, again, first half of July, make money, you guys. Very important time, very good time. Stars are providing for self-development, for promoting yourself, promoting your project, and doing things that are going to give you positive outcome and grant results later. So great month to you. Don't waste this opportunity. Have fun. And now we are going to the Tauruses, the second sign. The Tauruses, what are we going to, so sorry. Okay, so Taurus, the month starts with the full moon on the 3rd of July. For you guys, this full moon, not only this full moon is relatively more positive than normally, but also it is going to be in the full moon, I said, right? Full moon. In the positive, strong positive aspect to you guys. It is going to be in the 12th degree, and it is going to bring you not only not as much maybe opportunities for something new, but things bring things to fruition that you have been working on previously. Okay, and the results are going to be most probably pleasant. Something that you have been working towards is going to now come back with the kiss from karma, with the candies. Like, you have been a good boy, a good girl. There you go. Now, this is this is something that will be felt mostly by the people who were born on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of May. Something positive is going to come your way for sure, connected with your previously invested efforts. Okay, so next, what we are going to have the change of sign for the Mars on the 11th of July. For you guys, also very positive, because so far in the sign of Leo, Mars is very strong there, and it has been making a very negative, let's say, aspect to you, and maybe you were more irritative than normally. Maybe you were meeting people that are more irritative, maybe even aggressive. Also, the Mars has been with Lilith there, so it is, I'm not saying that everyone has become a victim of a scamming or something like this, but it is unpleasant people, people that up to no good. And Mars is like a masculine energy, usually men, let's say, yeah, that are up to no good. So now that is changing. You're going to feel Mars is changing the sign, like I said. It is ingressing Virgo on the 11th of July, so you're going to feel more energy to do things. You will feel like it is more natural for you to start things, do this initial push. People are becoming less irritable around you, and you're becoming less irritable to them. You're becoming more methodical, which also goes with you very well. and you will be prone to starting new things more easily. And like I said, first 2 weeks until the 15th are very good weeks to do things, okay, to develop your projects, to promote yourself, to show yourself to the world. In general, you have the planet that I'm talking about right now, basing on what I'm giving you this description, Jupiter, it is transiting your sign. So right now probably is a good time for you guys, and you feel this pull, let's say, to start promoting yourself, to make yourself visible. Maybe you are more inclined to get into some kind of educational project. You want to learn something new. Maybe you want to travel more. You want to learn something about the new cultures, and respectively money making specifically, and self-development in terms of your personal projects or whatever. It's a good time, I'm telling you once again, the first 2 weeks of July. Then we are slowly moving to the 17th of July, which is a new moon is going to take place. The new moon is going to be in the sign of Cancer, in the degree 25, and it is going to be most important for the Tauruses that have birthdays on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of May. It is going to be very, very emotional. Taurus probably is not the sign of too much, like not too emotional sign. Your guys more about the things that you can touch and hold in your hands, more tangible things, let's say, more than emotions. But you will feel that maybe this new moon is going to bring you some new opportunities, but these opportunities might not be very obvious at first. You have to be able to see them and then go for them. What kind of opportunities? It depends on your personal chart, but it is going to be a day, 17th of July, I'm talking just as the 3rd of July, it's going to be the day of very intense emotions, especially the 17th of July is going to be very, very emotional. And if one of you is involved in creative activities, in artistic activities, if you are an artist, say, for you this new moon on the 17th is something that you shouldn't miss out on, because you will feel more inspired. Maybe you will have more chances to bring your project to fruition, not to start new projects, maybe even new collaborations. Maybe it is going to bring you new partners, new people with whom you will be able to start new projects, to work together. And again, like I said, more inspiration. So this is going to be a very difficult new moon, however, quite positive, in my opinion, for the people that have anything to do with the art, whether it is painting or movies or, I don't know, creative writing, why not, acting, all of that. Okay. So, and the last but not the least is the 22nd of July. Venus is going retrograde. For you guys, it's an extremely important event because Venus is your ruler, the ruler of your sun. So you might feel like, starting on the 22nd, like putting things on hold a little bit. Okay, maybe the things are putting themselves on hold, or you feel like everything is slowing down around you somehow, or you feel like slowing down and you feel like reconsidering the value of things. Okay, like self-worth, the worth of your relationship, because the Venus, your ruler, is all about balancing things out. And to balance something out, you need to know, let's say, how much it weighs, what is it worth. Okay, so Venus is about this kind of things. Be mindful of the fact that this period is going to last until the beginning of September. It's a very long time. During this period, it is not recommended to get married. And I'm not talking the parties, I'm talking about signing the documents. As I talked about it earlier, if you missed the first part, please go back to the general part, and I'm talking about this there. And also I have a separate video about Venus transit in Leo, and it goes all the way to the October, beginning of October. So you can check in more detail about this transit there. But in general, try to finish your beauty procedures, your aesthetical things, photo shoots and whatnot until the 22nd. Try to get married if you have planned a wedding until the 22nd. Wedding, again, for astrology, it is important the signing of the documents, not the party. Okay. Okay, so I wish you great July, Tauruses, and have fun, and I will see you in my next